North Korea will be having a once-a-generation ruling party Congress on Friday. The purpose of the Congress is to establish Kim Jong-un's supreme leader status, among other things. But to avoid any security mishaps before the Congress, the country has been put on lockdown. Even weddings and funerals will have to wait. So this is the first in 36 years of this kind of ruling party Congress. It's taking place this Friday, May 6th. It's supposed to last about 4 or 5 days. And it's supposed to, as I say, basically cement the fact that Kim Jong-un is the supreme leader. So it's supposed to establish his status there, but then also to formally declare North Korea a nuclear-armed state. So North Korea had previously announced this Congress back in October, but they just confirmed the date for this Friday last week. So as I said, the country is going to be on lockdown. There's not going to be any travel between Pyongyang in and out of the city. And as I said, weddings and funerals are going to have to wait, as if the North Korea is not restricted enough as it is.
Because it was such a party town beforehand.
You're like, guys, take it easy.
Guys.
Yeah.
We really got to beef up security. This is just like, we're having too much fun here.
Exactly. I mean, and North Korea has done this before for similar reasons. They've closed off the border between itself and China, et cetera. And according to the parties, the Workers' Party of Korea, the official newspaper there, they had this to say. They say, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea proudly joined the ranks of advanced nuclear and space powers while demonstrating the might of the invincible political, ideological, military, and youth power, and is now dashing ahead to a socialist economic power and highly civilized nation. That's supposed to tell us what this thing is for. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense. We're here. The funny thing is, just to back up a little bit, the fact of the matter is that the Kim Jong-un feels as though the need to cement that he's the president, because obliterating half of the preceding cabinet, having them executed and assassinated surreptitiously in most instances, wasn't enough to cement his status. The fact that one of his father's key aides was assassinated for not grieving enough when he died. That's not enough to cement you as the leader. You have to have a full-blown 5-day ceremony to put you in power.
Exactly. Like nobody can die while this is happening.
So yeah, right. So there's that, and the fact that that statement is obviously state-controlled media. It is. By all accounts, the sanctions that have been ratcheted up over the last few months, they've become even tighter with UN sanctions and being censored by the United Nations on multiple occasions is really is biting very, very hard.
Exactly.
And this is obviously a show of strength, saber rattling, demonstration of their nuclear capability. There are rumors going around that they are planning some kind of assault, they want to try and drag the West into some kind of armed conflict. There's all sorts of rumors abounding because of this. It's whatever it is, it's clearly smoke and mirrors to try to establish themselves as this great power, and the sanctions are not having any effect, and we're having this wonderful celebration. Right.
I think that the smoke and mirrors comment is pretty on point, because there's always the speculation, like how much of this is serious, how much are they I mean, of course they've been doing nuclear tests. They did their 4th one in January. There's been a bunch of ballistic missile tests, not all of which have been successful, but the United Nations is definitely going to be keeping their eye on North Korea during this Congress, because, as we've seen, they've continued to kind of break through these sanctions or disregard them. But at the same time, it's interesting that they're in these statements, and I'll get to the foreign minister's statement in a moment, saying, no, we're not necessarily just announcing that we're nuclear armed. We are also talking about our economy and the unity of the people. So let's get to that. So North Korea's foreign minister Su-yong at a United Nations climate conference, he had this to say leading up to this Congress on Friday. He says it's a bit wordy, so stay with me. He says, one of the most important things through this party Congress is to show to the entire world the union of our people. I'm sure our country will be even more vibrant after the party Congress to build up a more prosperous and powerful, economically sound nation. The first thing is to advance the pace of economic building for a powerful nation. The second is to improve the people's living standards and define the best optimum ways to improve the people's living standards under these circumstances. And the third, to strengthen our national defense capabilities. The real source of power in our country isn't nuclear weapons or any other military means, but the single-minded unity of the people and the leader. This power of unity we have is the real source of power that leads to our country into victory. So it's like, it's not just the nuclear capabilities, but that helps. You know what I mean? It's bizarre for me. Also, this is following a 70-day loyalty drive where the workforce has been putting in extra hours to spruce up the city and to really, prove their loyalty to the supreme leader. So you're like, as if these people haven't been completely overworked as it is.
It's just a hedonistic kind of nirvana over there to begin with. So it's just as well they had this loyalty drive. Otherwise, I mean, things are really going to pop. People are only working 18 hours a day.
Exactly.
Come on, what are you going to do?
So I guess we'll see what is really announced, what this Congress has in store. But in case you were thinking about it, don't get married or die this weekend.